Hi, this is our cat Petrushka, in translation from Ukrainian, parsley. She is my favorite cat in the whole world. She is beautiful, she is very smart, her heart is full of love and affection, she always makes me laugh. And she is happy with us, but Petrushka has a big dream, as every house cat does. She wants to go outside and run around, chase squirrels, kill everything that moves, drink from the bottle, gain ticks and fleas, get heartworms, and finally get hit by a car while running away from a coyote. As you can guess, her humans is not too much into it. So I decided to give her an outside experience in a different way. I will build her a Catio inspired by Stray, the video game. Cyberpunk dystopia aesthetics with million lights and interesting objects all over. I'm going to recreate a bunch of things from the game, but before that, let's make a base. You will ask, what is this tree in your yard? Oh, it has a wonderful backstory. For the project, I will need a strong post to tie whole construction to it. Since the house is a rental, our landlord didn't appreciate for some reason the idea about making bunch of holes in a brick siding. So instead, we will use power of earth. By destroying the colony of fence, I'm making sure there is any rotten spots on a chosen log. All of the cutouts goes to the fire pit, I will need them later. Next step, I'm peeling the bark off. Don't worry, the tree is dead and not in pain, so you can enjoy this visually satisfying process. We don't need that as well. Oh, look, me from the past wants to say something important. Now when it's nice and dry, all of the bark is off, I'm ready to go and start charcoaling it. I actually saw it a couple times on YouTube, and today I did some research how to do it properly and what's the reason to do it, so let's go ahead and start a fire. As you see, I started a fire, and as soon as it's got to the proper temperature, the logs started to gain this beautiful ebony color and texture. My advice to enjoy it real quick, cause in the next step it goes under the ground. I will bury it at least 2 feet down for great stability. And the coat of charcoal will keep it to last much longer, since even fungus and bugs doesn't like food that local steakhouse calls well done. For the base I will use these blocks that was lying around the yard. Not because I'm cheap and those are free, but because they are perfectly match the game aesthetics of abandoned city with structures made of junk. Now to the building of the structure itself. Luckily for me, and unluckily for my landlord, I found a whole lot of wood leftovers, including full-size 2x4s and smaller chunks. I still had to buy a few boards, but most of short joints I was able to make out of Frankenstein 2x4s. Since I had a lot of trimmings shorter than the width of the box I'm building, I was able to join short pieces with glue and screws into boards of length I needed for a project. I did it not because I'm cheap and those are free, but because they perfectly match the game aesthetics of abandoned city with structures made of junk. Look at him! Smiling because 3 minutes of video covered 3 days of actual work. Here you see not showing off how strong I am, but the result of not thinking forward. Yep, 3 hot sweaty days. Now you can see what I needed log post for. Since it is sitting in the ground, it will hold the whole structure steady without any straight connection to the house. Alright, that's how it looks in the end of the very long day. It looks like a cube made of trash, which it is. Now it's time for painting magic. Look how it transforms the ugly trash cube I made in bushcrafted cyberpunk dystopian structure. Look at this! After just one coat of black paint, it doesn't look like a pile of garbage anymore. It actually looks like someone intentionally did that. It looks nice! I'm not doing any commercial for the gloves I used.
Just kidding, I will say whatever you want if you pay me.
Okay, here's engineering problem. How to place cat from house to cube and back without human intervention. I modeled the whole complicated inlet into the window with a hole for cat flap installation and acrylic window to keep all of the sunlight we had before. I had like 50 gigabytes of video footage of how I'm making it, but since we are friends, I'm not going to make you watch it. Long story short, I made it out of hardboard with laser, then glue it together and painted white to match the interior. Window inlet turned out to look much better than I expected. Probably if I would able to buy such a thing, it would look similar to what I did. Good job to me! All of the flooring in the Catio I'm making using leftover boards from the pieces of the wooden signs I used to sell on my Etsy shop. This product went to oblivion and I had a whole bunch of these planks left. And do you know why I'm using them? Yep, you got it! Not because I'm cheap and those are free, but because they perfectly match the game aesthetics of abandoned city with structures made of junk. At this point I realized it would be much easier to connect window to a cube if I would leave the whole construction higher and connect top floor with the entrance. But planning ahead is for cowards with lack of creativity, and actually for smart people, so I had to improvise some kind of tunnel. To cover it up and hold the cat inside, I'm using the cheapest chicken wire net. I realized that all of the dudes that was born in the countryside are doomed with the same course. No matter what kind of project you are doing, you always end up with a chicken cube. But it's cyberpunk dystopia! Sorry dude, you made a chicken coop. To make a roof, I'm using these metal sheets I found under the shed. They somehow looks like corrugated metal roof from the game. Yay, the structure part is done. We are now moving to the part where I'm actually make it look like Lost City from the Stray. Did you notice how many red Chinese lights are in the game? Many. So I'm making my own. Since paper is a bad material for outdoors, I tried to cut plastic plates from Dollar Tree with laser. Plastic plus fire equals brain damage. Please don't do this at home. Since I didn't inhale enough plastic fumes out of laser, I continued with hot glue gun. If you see this video, I probably survived. This is the worst material for crafting ever, but good for picnic. I'm not sponsored by Dollar Tree, but it's heavily involved in all crafts I do. Since they started to sell stuff for Halloween, I walk in these cheap orange lights that will work perfect for my lanterns. The game have its alternative form for every letter in alphabet, which makes safe for me to write dirty words on my lights. Next in line, flying robot companion B-12. Like my favorite creators on YouTube, I will make him out of garbage. I started to collect this trash way before this channel was created, so its time finally came. Hey bud, your eyes looks like you swallowed some pills. With hobo expertise, I easily found shapes in the bin that will become our friend. Alright, now I finally understand how all of these vitamins is actually good for me. Only after I started to assemble the robot, I realized that it can be a separate project itself by amount of time it requires. But it was too late. I got myself into it, so I tried to keep it as simple as possible. To give it a specific accents, I used foam board from, yep, you got it, from Dollar Tree. The plastic cap out of craft paper roll will do a robot's jet turbine. The corners from chicken tray will make perfect wings / flaps, whatever it is the robot have. Just make sure you get rid of all bird DNA with soap and water. Even being a complete improvisation, my robot already looks a lot like his prototype from the game. Now let's turn it into a surprise cake. Just kidding. There is an air dry clay for normal people, but I still didn't use all of the drywall putty that I bought for my first diorama. In case you're interested to see how that turned out, here's the link. Good boy, who likes cuddles? In this specific shot, you can actually see why I'm doing all of this. It is the only way to finally watch all of the movies and shows I have in a growing watch list. Now it's a great time to hit that like button if you like what you see. Nightingale Works is a fresh new channel and I'm open to any ideas and suggestions. Let me know what kind of makers content do you like the most. Give hails to all of your favorite authors down in the comments. I would like to explore new YouTubers in the same genre. After giving little guy rainbows in his eyes, it's finally time to install his antenna made of old painting brush and couple foam sensor, I guess? Since I wasn't able to recreate his zero-gravity jet engine, I made him fly in a slightly different way. Aw, look at this cute $2 Foxy from the thrift store. It will make a great friend for my kitty. Oh, okay, never mind. Yep, I'm cutting its head off. Cat already has a friend, but real hero needs a nemesis as well. In reality, I'm going to transform this forgotten toy in an in-game enemy called Zurk. They are alien or mutant creatures that reminds me something. I wonder what could it be? Let's ask concept designer how did he come up with the idea of Zurk character. Awesome! Now we know that Zurk is completely original and has nothing to do with the headcrabs. As you can see, I'm stuffing little guy with utility racks. Later on I will put some catnip inside to turn this god's creature from enemy into a cat's best friend. To keep the inside access for cat's cocaine refill, I'm gonna need a removable Zurk eyeball. Few layers of sticky tape over a balloon did the shape. And since it is a little bit bigger than the opening, it can be easily removed anytime. Being aware that this is my first stuffed animal ever, I feel like Zurk is turning out really nice and looks a lot like one in a game. By the way, this is a girl. Next step, I want to make Catio comforting for new created Zurk girl. Let's make her something that would remind her about home. Maybe like Zurk's slimy nest where they breed. I went with a technique that I learned by making piñatas long time ago. It's called papier-mâché and consists of gluing several layers of paper pieces over a shape you want to recreate. It might be a time-consuming process, so better to have a movie available. Obviously, I never made an alien nest before, so I figured what to do as I go. Put the ball in a place with a hot glue, put some plastic bags over it and... who cares, it's good to go. Paint will do its magic. Here in this shot you can see how impatience looks like. I didn't want to wait all night before paint and then another day for it to dry, so I ended up spraying paint in the dusk. Basically, on the next video I'm seeing it in the light for the first time. That is why I'm so excited about how it turned out. Just freaking look at this! It looks horrible! I love it! All we have here is just paper, some glue, and just some bags. That's so easy and that looks so great. Since Petrushka was a stray cat before we took her into our family, the game's name is very appealing to her, but she is not stray anymore, so I wanted to change the logo at least a little bit. A huge impact on the game aesthetics is granted by hundreds of graffitis all over the city in the game. I wanted to include at least one of them into the build, and the best place to put it on turned out to be emergency door that Catio going to have on outside. This way I'm using cool picture from the game and saving a door from being a boring black square. I am not that much into conceptualism. We almost done, I promise. Everybody liked the bucket lift which Kitty in the game used as an elevator. I knew I'm going to add it to the build after I found this metal bucket in a Dollar Tree. It even had a rope that was wrapped around the top, which I of course will use. I spent so much time on this project that it was hard for me to believe that I'm actually assembling all of the elements together. Hey guys, we're almost done with the project. The only thing left to introduce it to our cat Petrushka. But before that, I wanted to do another announcement. So I'm really enjoying working on this channel, doing videos for you, but there is one more thing I'm enjoying even more, like having something to eat and paying my bills. And to do that, we have our Etsy shop, NightingaleWorksArt, and this is our main income source. So until I have sponsorship from Google, Squarespace or Home Depot, probably the best way to support us and this channel is to follow the link in the description, take a look at the stuff we have in our store, some of the things I made myself, handmade. I'm doing the designs, and if you like something, please consider buying it. This way you're gonna support us a big time. And now when we have it off the table, we are good to go and take a look how Petrushka likes her new outside playground. This is it. I like how it turned out, but the most important, Petrushka really loves it, and she's using her playground every day. It took her about a couple weeks to get comfortable with the swinging door, but she nailed it, like she's been using it whole life. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please consider liking and subscribing the channel. My name is Dmitry, you watch Nightingale Works, I'll see you next time.